Welcome to GS Coins, where every coin tells a story and every collector is part of a fascinating journey through time. In today's video, we're uncovering the hidden value and historical charm of a humble yet iconic coin, the Australia 10-cent coin from the year 1967. Now, you might be thinking, what's so special about a coin that's only worth 10 cents? But that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not always about the face value, it's about the design, the history, the rarity, and the story behind each coin. The 1967 10-cent coin is a prime example of how a small, everyday object can become a meaningful collector's item, especially when preserved in good condition. So, whether you're an experienced numismatist or just starting out, this deep dive into the 1967 10-cent coin is one you won't want to miss. The 1967 10-cent coin holds a special place in Australian numismatic history because it came just 1 year after the country's major currency transformation. In 1966, Australia officially transitioned from the British imperial system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a modern decimal system using dollars and cents. This was a massive shift, both practically and symbolically, representing Australia's growing independence and modernization in the post-war era. The 10-cent coin was one of the first coins introduced in the decimal series, and while the first version was minted in 1966, the 1967 issue carried forward the same design, which has become a classic over time. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The Australia 10-cent coin from 1967 is made from a copper-nickel alloy, giving it a strong silvery appearance and solid durability. It weighs exactly 5.65 grams and has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters. The edge of the coin is reeded, which not only adds to its tactile quality but also helps prevent counterfeiting. On the obverse side, that's the head side, we see the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right. This portrait was designed by British sculptor Arnold Machin and features the young Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This effigy was used on Australian coins from 1966 to 1984 and is one of the most recognised depictions of the Queen used across many Commonwealth nations. But what truly makes this coin memorable is the reverse side, which features the intricately detailed image of a male superb lyrebird. The lyrebird is one of Australia's most extraordinary native birds, known not only for its strikingly ornate tail feathers but also for its extraordinary vocal mimicry. The lyrebird can replicate the sounds of chainsaws, car alarms, and other birds with near-perfect accuracy. This elegant and symbolic creature was chosen to represent the 10-cent coin, and the design was masterfully created by Stuart Devlin, an internationally renowned goldsmith and jeweler who would go on to become the official goldsmith to the Queen. His work on the lyrebird design is a fine example of Australian artistry, bringing together realism and decorative beauty. Every curve of the tail, every line on the feathers, is carefully crafted, and even today, collectors admire the precision and elegance of this design. In terms of mintage, the 1967 10-cent coin was produced in significant quantities to meet the demands of the decimal currency system rollout. The Royal Australian Mint struck over 71 million of these coins in 1967. While that number might seem high, it's important to understand that mintage doesn't tell the full story of a coin's current availability or value. Most of these coins were used in circulation, meaning they passed through the hands of millions of people and were subjected to wear, scratches, corrosion, and general damage over time. As a result, finding these coins today in high-grade or mint-state condition is much more challenging than you might expect. The vast majority of coins available now show signs of age, dull surfaces, worn details, and edge damage. So, when a 1967 10-cent coin turns up in good condition, with visible detail on the Queen's tiara or the lyrebird's tail feathers, it becomes a desirable piece for collectors building complete sets or hunting for pristine examples from the early decimal years. Now let's talk value, because that's one of the biggest questions we get here on GS Coins. How much is a 1967 Australia 10-cent coin worth today in the collector's market, especially in the United States dollar? Well, the answer depends on a few key factors, with condition being the most important one. A coin that is heavily circulated and shows a lot of wear may only be worth between 50 cents and $1, mainly for collectors who are looking to complete a basic decimal collection. But if the coin is in good to very fine condition, with modest wear but well-preserved design elements, the value increases to around $2 to $5. Coins in extremely fine condition, where most of the fine details are still visible and there's minimal surface wear, can fetch $6 to $10 on collector markets, especially through online auctions or coin shows. Now, if you are fortunate enough to own a mint state or uncirculated 1967 10-cent coin, that is, a coin that shows no signs of circulation and retains its original mint luster, the value can go much higher. Professionally graded coins in MS-63 to MS-65 condition can be worth $15 to $30, depending on current demand and whether the coin is certified by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. Coins with a grade of MS-66 or higher, which are quite rare, can command prices over $40. And let's not forget about error coins. Some 1967 10-cent coins were struck with minting errors such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or clip planchets. These error coins are often highly sought after by specialist collectors and can sell for anywhere between $50 to $150, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. As a collector, it's important to protect the value of your coins. If you own a 1967 10-cent coin and believe it may be in high grade or uncirculated condition, avoid cleaning it, even with water, as that can damage the surface and lower its value significantly. Instead, store it in a protective coin capsule, flip, or album sleeve to avoid exposure to air, moisture, and oils from your fingers. Even small details, like the luster of the metal or the sharpness of the edge, can influence the grading process and, ultimately, the coin's market value. The 1967 Australia 10-cent coin is more than just a small piece of currency. It is a symbol of a new era in Australia's financial history. It represents the beginning of the decimal system, the artistic vision of one of Australia's finest coin designers, and a time when the country was forging a stronger, more independent identity. For collectors, it's an essential piece of any complete decimal coin set. For historians, it's a physical record of national change. And for casual coin hunters, it might be the first coin that sparks a lifelong interest in numismatics. Next up, the Australian 10-cent coin from the year 1980. Many people don't realize that even low-denomination coins like the 10-cent piece can hold significant historical value and, in some cases, market worth beyond their face value, especially when they're preserved in good condition. If you've recently found a 1980 10-cent coin in your old change jar, inherited a collection, or you're just starting your journey in coin collecting, then stay tuned, because this coin has a story to tell. Let's begin with some context. The 1980 10-cent coin belongs to the family of Australian decimal coins that were introduced after the country's official currency conversion in 1966. Australia transitioned from the imperial system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the more modern decimal system, a major national change at the time. By 1980, the new decimal currency had been circulating for 14 years, and coins like the 10-cent piece were already part of everyday life. However, what makes the 1980 coin unique isn't a redesign or a commemorative issue, it's the continuity of a design that had already become beloved by the Australian public, combined with the fact that coins from this era are now reaching vintage status and attracting the attention of collectors around the world. The 1980 10-cent coin was struck by the Royal Australian Mint using copper-nickel alloy, a durable metal blend consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy gives the coin its distinctive silver tone and strength, which has allowed many of these coins to survive in relatively good condition more than 4 decades later. Each coin weighs 5.65 grams and has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters, with a reeded edge to prevent counterfeiting and provide tactile distinction. These are subtle design features that were meant for functionality at the time, but now, they help numismatists evaluate authenticity and condition when assessing collectible value. On the obverse of the coin, we see the profile of Queen Elizabeth II facing to the right. This version of Her Majesty's portrait was created by the renowned British sculptor Arnold Machin and is often referred to as the Machin portrait. It shows a young Queen Elizabeth wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, an iconic image used on Australian coins from 1966 until 1984. This effigy, both regal and elegant, became a familiar sight across the Commonwealth and continues to hold nostalgic value for collectors today. On the reverse side, we're treated to one of the most detailed and beautiful coin designs in Australian coinage, the image of a male superb lyrebird, tail feathers fanned out in full display. The lyrebird is a uniquely Australian species famous for its mimicry and extravagant plumage. The artwork was crafted by Stuart Devlin, a master designer whose coin work is respected globally. His attention to fine details, like the elegant curve of the feathers and the natural posture of the bird, helped elevate this 10-cent coin from a mere transactional tool to a small work of art. When it comes to mintage, the 1980 10-cent coin was produced in very high numbers. The Royal Australian Mint struck over 76 million coins that year to meet the demands of commerce and coin circulation throughout the country. With such a high production run, you might assume that these coins are too common to be worth collecting, but that would be a mistake. As with many coins from high mintage years, the real value lies not in how many were made, but in how many have survived in excellent, untouched condition. After decades of circulation, most 1980 coins are now worn, scratched, or corroded. This means that coins which have remained in good condition, especially those that were set aside early, stored in albums, or came directly from mint rolls, are now becoming scarcer and more desirable among collectors. So, let's talk market value. If you have a 1980 10-cent coin in well-circulated condition, meaning it's been through everyday use and shows signs of wear, its value is modest, usually around 50 cents to $1. These coins are attractive to entry-level collectors or those completing a date set. However, if your coin is in fine to very fine condition, where most of the design details are still visible, it can fetch between $2 and $3. Coins in extremely fine condition, with minimal wear and strong visible features like the Queen's hair and the lyrebird's tail, can increase in value to around $4 to $6, especially if sold through a collector's marketplace or coin dealer. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have an uncirculated or mint state coin, things become much more interesting. Mint state coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, typically starting at MS60 and going up to MS70. A 1980 10-cent coin in MS63 condition may be worth $10 to $15, while coins graded MS65 or above, which are relatively rare, can reach $20 to $30 or more. Coins with full original luster, no contact marks, and excellent eye appeal are the most sought after. And don't forget, if your coin is certified and graded by a major service like PCGS or NGC, it may command a premium price due to added authenticity and buyer confidence. There's another element to keep in mind: minting errors. While not extremely common, some 1980 10-cent coins have been found with errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaws. These error coins are always of interest to a certain niche of collectors. For example, an off-center strike where the design is partially missing or skewed can easily sell for $50 to $100, depending on how dramatic and rare the error is. Double strikes or clipped planchets also add significant value. So, if your 1980 10-cent coin looks unusual, don't overlook it, it might just be a valuable minting anomaly. Beyond value, this coin holds historical and cultural significance. It is a representation of Australian identity and pride. The continued use of the lyrebird on the 10-cent coin design, from its origin in 1966 to today, shows how much Australians cherish their unique wildlife and heritage. The coin also represents a time of stability and progress in the country's economy, as Australia moved confidently through the 1980s as a modern, industrialized nation. Holding this coin in your hand is like holding a piece of that era, and for collectors, that kind of connection is priceless. Before we wrap up, here's a tip: if you believe you own a high-quality 1980 10-cent coin, be sure to protect it. Store it in a safe place, such as a plastic coin capsule, archival flip, or airtight coin holder. Avoid touching the surface with your fingers, as oils from your skin can damage the metal over time. And never clean the coin, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning can lower the coin's grade and significantly reduce its value in the eyes of professional graders and experienced collectors. Next up, the Australia 10-cent coin from the year 2011. At first glance, it may look like just another piece of everyday currency. It's small, silver-colored, and common in pocket change. But in the world of numismatics, even coins that are part of daily circulation can carry significant value, especially when they are preserved in high quality or contain special characteristics. Today, we will explore everything there is to know about the 2011 10-cent coin, from its historical background and beautiful design, to its production details, condition grading, collector demand, and real market value in today's coin world, especially in US dollars. Whether you're a passionate coin collector or just someone who found an old coin in a drawer, stay with us until the end to discover the hidden potential of this humble Australian coin. Let's start with the history. The 10-cent coin was first introduced in Australia in 1966 when the country switched from the pounds, shillings, and pence system to the decimal system. Since then, the 10-cent coin has remained an important part of everyday commerce. Despite inflation over the decades, it continues to circulate and remains widely used. The design of the 10-cent coin has stayed consistent for decades, maintaining both the symbolic heritage of Australia and its distinct national identity. The coin from 2011 is part of this long-standing series. While it may not be a commemorative issue or have an unusual minting story, it still carries historical significance, as it represents the continuous legacy of Australia's decimal coinage in the 21st century. In terms of physical specifications, the 2011 Australian 10-cent coin follows the traditional size and metal composition of its predecessors. It is made of copper-nickel, an alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, known for its strength and resistance to corrosion. The coin weighs exactly 5.65 grams, has a diameter of 23.60 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. These features were originally designed for both durability and security. The reeded edge helps prevent counterfeiting and also makes the coin easier to identify by touch. The use of copper-nickel also gives the coin a bright silver appearance, which remains attractive even after many years in circulation when properly preserved. Now let's talk about the design, and this is where the coin truly becomes a piece of art. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait was designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a British sculptor whose depiction of the Queen has been used on Australian coins from 1999 to 2015. His design shows the Queen facing to the right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and it is known for its realism and mature elegance. Unlike previous portraits that idealized the monarch's image, Rank Broadley's version reflects her appearance with respect, dignity, and honesty. You can see the fine details of her facial features, hair, and crown. His initials, IRB, appear just below the neckline as a subtle signature of the artist's contribution to coinage history. On the reverse side, we are treated to the iconic image of the superb lyrebird, an Australian native bird famous for its beautiful tail feathers and impressive ability to mimic sounds from its environment. This design has remained unchanged since 1966 and was created by the legendary Australian artist and goldsmith Stuart Devlin. The lyrebird is depicted with its tail feathers arched gracefully over its back, resembling a traditional musical lyre, a fitting choice for a country proud of its wildlife. The attention to detail in the bird's feathers, posture, and environment makes this one of the most beautiful reverse coin designs in Australia's coinage history. Devlin's work on this coin has been praised for its realism and elegance, and it continues to symbolize the natural beauty of Australia. Now let's discuss mintage, the number of coins produced. In 2011, the Royal Australian Mint struck around 31.1 million 10-cent coins. While this is not considered a low mintage year, it is much lower than some other years, like 1981 or 2006, which had over 80 million coins struck. This makes the 2011 coin moderately available but still interesting to collectors who are building date sets or searching for higher quality examples. Even though millions of these coins were minted, only a small fraction of them have survived in perfect or near-perfect condition. Most went into circulation and suffered scratches, fading details, and surface wear, which reduces their numismatic value. This is why coins from 2011 that remain in pristine condition are now sought after, because time naturally reduces the number of high-grade survivors. So what is the 2011 10-cent coin actually worth today? The answer depends entirely on condition, rarity, and whether there are any errors. A circulated 2011 10-cent coin, the kind you would find in your change, is worth about 7 cents to 15 cents USD, depending on where. This is slightly more than face value when considered by collectors who want an example for their date collections. However, coins in very fine to extremely fine condition, meaning there's only minimal wear, and the details of the Queen and the lyrebird are still sharp, can be worth around 50 cents to $1.50 USD. If your coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, it becomes significantly more valuable. Coins in MS60 to MS63 grade can fetch $3 to $5 while those in MS64 to MS65 can go for $7 to $12 The highest quality coins, graded MS66 or better, may sell for $15 to $25 especially if they have full luster, a clean surface, and no contact marks. You should also be aware of mint errors, which can increase a coin's value dramatically. While there are no widely known major errors reported for the 2011 10-cent coin, any accidental mistakes during production, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, or cuds, can raise the value of the coin to $20, $50, or even more, depending on rarity and demand. If your 2011 10-cent coin looks unusual or different from a standard one, consider having it evaluated by a coin expert or professional grader. Collectors also place value on presentation and provenance. If you have a 2011 10-cent coin still sealed in a mint roll, or as part of a mint-issued set, it may carry an even higher premium. Coins that come with documentation from the Royal Australian Mint or that have been certified by PCGS or NGC as high-grade often sell at much higher prices on the collector's market due to their verified quality and authenticity. In a broader sense, the 2011 10-cent coin is also a symbol of the era. It was minted during a time when the global economy was recovering from the financial crisis of 2008, and Australia was one of the few countries that managed to maintain economic growth. The coin reflects the strength and stability of the Australian economy, as well as the nation's commitment to preserving cultural heritage through consistent and artistic coin design. The fact that this small coin still circulates today, unchanged in design for more than 5 decades, is a testament to its success in both form and function. If you have a 2011 10-cent coin in good condition, treat it with care. Avoid cleaning it, as that can reduce its value. Instead, store it in a soft plastic flip, coin capsule, or album to prevent scratches and corrosion. Keeping your coins protected ensures they retain their value over time, and makes them more appealing to collectors in the future. And if you're serious about collecting, consider submitting your best coins to a professional grading service for authentication and grading, especially if you think your coin is of high quality or has an unusual feature. Next up, the Australia 10-cent piece from the year 2017. While this coin may still be actively circulating in Australia, its significance goes far beyond its face value. For casual observers, this may seem like just another coin used for small purchases. But for dedicated numismatists and coin collectors around the world, even a recent coin like the 2017 10-cent holds powerful meaning, historical connections, and rising collectible potential, especially in high grades or with unique features. In this episode, we'll cover everything about this fascinating coin, from its design and symbolism, to its place in Australia's modern economy, and most importantly, its market value today in US dollars. So whether you're a beginner looking to learn, or an experienced collector seeking the finest details, make sure to watch until the end to uncover what makes this coin worth far more than just 10 cents. Let's begin by looking at the origin of this small but significant piece. The 10-cent coin first entered the Australian monetary system in 1966 when the country moved from the imperial system to decimal currency. Since then, it has remained a fundamental part of everyday transactions. But what's most remarkable is that its reverse design, the elegant image of the superb lyrebird, has remained untouched for more than 5 decades. That kind of design consistency is rare in modern coinage, and it gives the coin both historical continuity and artistic prestige. The 2017 edition of the coin keeps this iconic reverse while also marking an important period in Australia's modern history, the later years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Coins from this era are already being appreciated by collectors because they represent the last decades of an era that defined not only Britain but also many Commonwealth nations including Australia. From a technical standpoint, the 2017 10-cent coin follows the same physical standards set in 1966. It is made of cupronickel, an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives it its recognizable silver color and ensures its durability in circulation. The coin weighs 5.65 grams, measures 23.60 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge. These characteristics are consistent with all 10-cent coins in the Australian decimal system, making it easy to recognize and collect as part of date or type sets. But don't let the consistency fool you. Even with standard specs, individual year coins like the 2017 issue can differ in terms of mintage numbers, scarcity in high grades, and even minor die variations that may not be obvious at first glance. Now, turning to the coin's design, we have 2 powerful artistic works featured on this small coin. The obverse of the 2017 coin carries the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, first introduced in 1999, shows a mature and dignified queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It is known for its realism and strong presence. Unlike earlier portraits that lean toward an idealized representation, Rank Broadley's version is more lifelike and confident, which many collectors appreciate for its authenticity. This effigy remained in use until 2018 and serves as a key representation of the Queen's later years, an era now frozen in the timeline of coinage following her passing in 2022. Because of this, collectors are paying closer attention to coins like the 2017 10 cent, which reflect this final phase of the Queen's influence on Commonwealth coinage. On the reverse, we see the timeless lyrebird designed by Stuart Devlin, a master goldsmith and coin designer whose work left a permanent mark on Australia's currency. The superb lyrebird is a native species known for its ornate tail feathers and unmatched ability to mimic natural and human-made sounds. In Devlin's design, the bird is shown with its feathered tail arched gracefully over its back, resembling a lyre. A classical musical instrument. The detail in this design is stunning, especially when viewed on uncirculated coins. The flowing lines of the tail feathers and the fine texture of the bird's body are still among the most elegant images on circulating coinage anywhere in the world. For many collectors, the artistry of this design alone is a reason to collect every date in the 10-cent series. When it comes to mintage, the Royal Australian Mint produced approximately 21.9 million 10-cent coins in 2017. This number is considered moderate, not extremely low, but far from the highest ever produced. This makes the coin somewhat available in circulation, but high-grade examples become harder to find every year. The majority of these coins went into everyday use, accumulating scratches, dings, and wear from handling. Finding a circulated coin is easy, but finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is a different story. That's what makes this particular year attractive to collectors. It's accessible, yet challenging if you're aiming for mint-state quality. Let's now explore the all-important topic of market value. If you're holding a 2017 Australian 10-cent coin in good or circulated condition, its value is about face value, roughly $0.07. However, if your coin is in very fine or extremely fine condition, with minimal wear and strong design detail, collectors may pay between 50 cents and $1.25 for it. When the coin is found in uncirculated or mint state condition, values rise quickly. A coin graded MS60 to MS63 typically sells between $3 and $5, and coins with higher grades like MS64 or MS65, showing full mint luster and no contact marks, can sell for $8 to $12. Rare examples in MS66 or better, especially if certified by major grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch anywhere from $15 to $30, depending on market demand and eye appeal. We must also mention the growing interest in error coins and die varieties. Though the 2017 10-cent coin does not have any officially recognized widespread errors, it's always worth inspecting your coins carefully. Mistakes such as double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, or cuds can dramatically increase a coin's value. In some cases, error coins from modern years have sold for $50 to $150 or even more at auction, simply because they are rare and visually striking. So, if you find anything unusual about your 2017 10-cent coin, like misaligned edges or extra metal, hold onto it and consider getting a professional evaluation. As we continue to move further into the 2020s, collectors are beginning to realize the importance of modern coins in mint condition. While older silver and pre-decimal coins will always be treasured, the numismatic world is evolving, and high-quality modern decimal coins are becoming a hot niche. The 2017 10-cent coin represents a perfect example of this shift. It's modern, affordable, beautifully designed, and tied to a major era in Commonwealth history. Plus, with Queen Elizabeth II's portrait being phased out after her death, coins from the final years of her reign, like the 2017 issue, are gaining long-term collectible significance. As younger collectors enter the hobby, many are starting with decimal-era coins because they are easier to find and more relatable to their lifetime. To preserve the value of your coin, always store it properly. Use coin flips, capsules, or albums to avoid physical damage. Never attempt to clean your coin, this can ruin the surface and reduce its grade. If you believe your coin might be in mint state condition or features a possible error, consider submitting it for grading through a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade not only protects your investment but also makes it easier to sell your coin later at full market value. And so, we wrap up our exploration of the 2017 Australian 10-cent coin, a small but mighty piece of modern Australian history. From its elegant lyrebird design to its royal portrait, durable construction, and emerging collectible value, this coin proves that even the most recent issues can hold lasting significance. Whether you're a new collector starting out or a seasoned numismatist refining your modern collection, don't overlook the potential of coins like this. They are affordable, artistic, and poised to become more desirable with every passing year. Thank you for watching GS Coins, your home for everything related to world coin collecting. If you found this video helpful, informative, or inspiring, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss an upload. And now we'd love to hear from you. Do you have a 2017 Australian 10-cent coin in your collection? What condition is it in, and have you ever spotted any unusual features? Drop your answers in the comments below and let's discuss it as a community. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change and your passion for coins alive, because even the smallest coin can tell a big story, right here on GS Coins.